Hey everybody, Matt here. Today we're going to go over week number 3. We're going to go do a quick overview of what we covered this past Tuesday. Um, as always, just remind you that watching these videos does not replace calling in. There's a lot of tricks, a lot of shortcuts, a lot of different activities that we will do on Tuesday that not only will save you time, but also give you a better understanding of the material that's covered. So this little video I'm showing you, we're going to go over week 3, which is unit 2, lesson 3 and 4. Don't forget that you are responsible for all missed work, and you're responsible to call me if you need to. The top right hand corner is the call-in times for the class, and my personal contact information there. One little thing that I do want you to know, there's a change in how we screen share, at least for the next couple weeks. I'm using a different program. You'll need to click on the screen sharing link right here, and you'll need to enter this information as listed right here to view my screen and to join the classroom, the live session. So right now it's not live, so I'm not even going to click on it, but just click there. You don't need to enter any access codes. You do need to call in. There might be a little echoing if we're talking on the phone, or if it's going through the audio on your computer. So there might be times that you might just need to turn the volume down on your computer if you're calling on the phone, but I'll explain that later. So this week, actually I'm going to change my settings here a little bit, because the way you are viewing it is as a teacher, not as a student. So, okay. This section right here, which says weekly videos, will be removed because the videos are now posted underneath the assignment list. So this week is still working on the Minnesota Career Information System. Last week we talked about the occupations function, and you completed an occupation scavenger hunt to kind of learn how to use the website. So this week is going to be similar. You're going to have access to the Minnesota Career Information System. I already opened up a second tab, and we'll bounce back and forth like we did last time. I'm logging into the district site. You will need to log into your individual site. Make sure that you don't log in. Confirm that your name is in the top right hand corner. So okay, I'm logged in here. I'm also logged in as the class. This week's lesson is about programs of study. There is a reading here that talks about programs of study. And what it is. There's also a little video that talks about how to use the programs of study button, the function on the Minnesota Career Information site. Make sure you do the readings. Long story short, program of study is what training are you going to receive after you get out of high school. Most jobs require some kind of program of study. Might be a 2-year school, might be a 4-year school, it might be a trade school, it might be a licensure program, it might be the military, it might be apprenticeships. But these are all different types of programs of study. And this is what we're going to talk about in upcoming units, but for now I just want you to learn how to use this particular feature in the site. Programs of study, as it relates to this class, like I said, is any kind of training that you're going to get after you graduate from high school. Some students are college bound, some students want 4-year degrees or doctorates. Some students know that that's not for them, and that's okay. They might just prefer to go to a trade school, get a specific license in a certain field. Other students decide to go into apprentice shops or join the military. So that's what we're going to be talking about, but you have to learn how to use that system first. So the programs of study is right here. So last week we used this occupations right up here. This week we're going to use this programs of study right there. So this is what we're going to need. This is where we're going to do most of our activities in this class for lesson 3. Lesson 4, we're going to go and do something else. Okay, so like I said, complete the lesson 3 reading and watch the video to learn how to use the programs of study. There is a programs of study scavenger hunt. Just like you did an occupation scavenger hunt, there is a programs of study scavenger hunt where you're going to need to go in and answer these questions. So we're just going to do one together so that you learn how to do it. Just like last week, there is a question that they ask and then steps for you to find the answer. You're going to have to search for the steps a little bit. I had some students ask questions that I didn't know where to click. Well, you're going to have to look around. The purpose is to be able to read the site, look what's on it, and kind of learn to navigate it a little bit. The steps are not laid out so specific that you don't have to do some work. So make sure that you look around a little bit before you give up on the question. So, okay, this question says, how many private professional schools how many private professional schools offer law degrees in Minnesota? Now, these are private professional schools. So if you've watched the video, there are a variety of different schools and programs, both private, public, private professional, and so forth. So we're going to need to click on, it says find the heading related information in the law section. So from the Minnesota Career Information System, we're going to click on programs of study. Okay, there are different tabs going across the top. We're going to try searching through the cluster index first. You'll see that tab right at the top. As I scroll down, these are all the different fields of study that you can study, and there's even more because there's kind of subcategories here. So I'm going to click on law and legal studies. Okay, underneath that is law. So I'm just going to click on law, or you can click on information about law and legal studies. So okay, you can click on either one and both of them will come up to very similar screens. Step 2 said find the related heading in the law section, which we did. Click the topic Minnesota schools. And so law heading, oh, you know what, I think I needed to click on law here. There we go. So let me just show you what I did again so that we don't confuse anybody, and we'll kind of start over. To start this particular question, I clicked on programs of study. I clicked on my cluster index, scroll down, follow law and legal studies, and I clicked on law. All right, the directions say find the heading related information in the law section. That's how I found it. Related information, there's Minnesota schools. So that's what I did. Click on the topic Minnesota schools. Okay. The next question, click on private professional schools on the right hand side and then select your answer. There it is, right over here. We have private 4-year, private professional, and University of Minnesota, which kind of gets its own category because it is such a large program. Click on private professional. If I click on the schools underneath there, only one school shows up, William Mitchell College of Law. This is a private professional school. It's a private school specifically that only focuses on law. So there's only one. So if we find our answer on this question, it's letter E, only one. And so that's how we do this specific activity. It is very similar to the occupation scavenger hunt, but once again, the purpose is not to lead you to be a lawyer or a teacher or any particular field. It's just to teach you how to navigate this system and how to look up schools and any kind of training that you might need for your job. When you are done with that, I would like you to submit that and click Save at the bottom. That's Unit 3. Unit 4, we're going to start completing a first of many different career cluster inventories or career assessments. So you're going to need to complete the required reading. The required reading basically is directions on how to complete this assignment. There's certain things that you are going to need. Unit 4, you're going to have to submit your results. Or assignment 4, you have to submit your results. We'll get to the job study, which that actually should say assignment 5, job study, here in a moment. Okay, from the Minnesota Career Information System, to do this activity, I'm going to go home again. I'm going to go back to the home button. I'm going to have some writing on here that I want to erase. Okay, the thing that we're going to need to do, we're going to start our first of many different assessments. These assessments are short and sweet. Okay, they're little tools that are going to give you information about your interests, your skills, and they're going to help you find possible careers that align with your interests and your skills. The key to being successful in your job, in my opinion, is to make sure you enjoy it. There might be different parts that you enjoy, but make sure that you enjoy it. And this career cluster inventory is going to show you jobs that you might be good at. So that's what we're going to click on to do this assignment. Click on Career Cluster Inventory. When you do that, you're going to need to read this section. Okay, Career Cluster Inventory is an assessment that you're going to be asked a series of questions. I think it's 80 different activities, it says right here, and you're going to rank them from like very much to dislike. So I'll show you a couple examples. You're going to need to click on, so the first one says go fishing. Just find the answer that you like. I like to go fishing, so I'm going to click on that. Help build the stone path. Sure, I like that. Act in a school play. Nope, don't like that. Answer the phone and take messages in a school office. Nope, not really. Now, what I want you to do is I don't want you to click not sure very often. If you do, I'm going to ask you to retake the test. Not sure means you're not going to, if you click that on many questions, you're not going to get a good idea of what you like and what you don't like. You're going to be you're going to get just middle scores on everything. Commit one way or the other. There's no right or wrong answers. This is your opinion. Either you like it or you don't like it. Okay? And then if you do like it, how much do you like it? Very much or just like. Get through all the questions. There's 80 of them. You should only spend a few seconds on each one. No more than that. Okay. When you're done, you're going to get a list of results. So when you're done, the next assignment you're going to need to do is you're going to need to turn in your results. Now there's different ways to access your results and get them in the system. If you, and I'll just kind of read this to you, it says you have now completed the career cluster inventory. View your career cluster results by clicking on the career cluster inventory section under the assessment tools. If your results do not come up right away, click restore in the top. It should be right hand corner, and then it gives you directions. Click on restore set and continue. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So to view your results will pop up right away once you're done finishing the test, but not everybody wants to turn them in right at that moment. You might have other work to complete first. So to view your results, click on Career Cluster Inventory. Now I know I already completed one, but my results are not here. It's having me start all over. You do not need to start all over. The top right hand corner, and mine are not here. Oddly enough, I don't have one. So we are going to, wait, let's go back here 1 second. IMCIS, no. Oh, the reason why is because I'm not logged in as myself. So let me try this again. I'm going to log out and I'm going to log in as myself. I'm logged into the district site. So let's see if oh, that's not my right password. There we go. Okay, now we're going to try it. So I'm going to click on my career cluster inventory to go back to where I was. Career cluster inventory. I know that I have already answered my questions. I have already completed one of these tests. So at the top right hand corner, click on restore. I guess it is on the right. Okay. Now these are the assessments I've taken. You won't have all of these show up yet until you finish those assessments. But what I need to do is I need to click on Restore Answer Set Number 2 to Depending on how many times you take this test, you're going to have set 1, set 2, set 3, so forth. I've actually done it twice, and I only saved my most recent results. So I'm going to click on Restore Answer Set 2. Your answers have been restored. Click Continue. And up comes a screen that looks like this. This ranks all those career clusters that we talked about before. It ranks all of them on a score from, well, it could be 1 to 10, but it could actually be a lot higher than 10. I think it could go up to like 17, to tell you the truth. But it ranks your scores. I have a couple of them in the 10 range, a few of them 1 and 9, and then they slowly go down from there. My lowest one is marketing. I didn't score anything that I would enjoy doing in marketing. Now keep in mind, the results of this test do not tell you what you'd be good at. They just tell you general skills that you might enjoy. So it's a career cluster that you might want to consider looking at jobs in that field because you will enjoy them based on just your interests, your hobbies. It doesn't talk about money. It does not talk about what you'd be good at. For example, if you would like to be a doctor but you can't handle blood, well, you wouldn't enjoy that. If you want to be an engineer but your strength is not math, well, that might not be a good idea. But these are just jobs that you would enjoy. So in this assignment, you're going to rank them. So I gave you a little example here. You're just going to rank them from high to low. By doing that, you're going to click on Add Submission and just type them in. So for example, here I have architecture and construction, okay, as a 10. Manufacturing, I have a 10. So that's what I would write in this box. And then click Save. I'm not going to save this because I don't need to turn it into myself, but you get the idea. Okay, that is how you complete the first activity in lesson 4. Now, the last activity, I'm going to go back home. The last assignment in Unit 2, we will be using the Minnesota Career Cluster again. You're going to do a job study. We're going to do a few job studies throughout every unit throughout this course. We're going to do a few of them, and you're going to be asked specific questions about a job. This week, the job is about cooks and chefs. I have a lot of students that are interested in becoming cooks or chefs. I've seen pastry chefs to sous chefs to, they want to own their own restaurants and so forth. So this career study, there's 15 questions that ask about the specific jobs. This particular job is being a chef or a line cook or the different varieties of chefs that are out there or cooks that are out there. So you will use the Minnesota Career Information System. You'll notice that there are no steps on how to solve this. You're just going to have to find the answers. True or false? Minnesota salaries for cooks and chefs are lower than the national average salary. Minnesota salaries are lower than the national salary. So I'll show you how to do this, and then you'll do the rest on your own. I'm going to click on occupations. Now you can search however you want. I like to search by alphabetical order. Do this by title index. Okay, you can click by chef, and I'm going to scroll down. Chefs and dinner cooks, that's where you're going to find your answers. Wages is where it asks about how much money they make. The question was, true or false, Minnesota salaries for cooks and chefs are lower than the average national salary. Well, if we look at Minnesota as right here at the top, United States is national salary. United States average is 42. Minnesota is 41. So, true or false, Minnesota salaries are lower. That is true. So, now this information might not be as current. I think it's 2000. This particular one is 2011. And there's different kinds of cooks that all talk about different things. But salaries for cooks. You know what? I didn't look at cook. I looked at head cooks. So in Minnesota, just a cook in a cafeteria makes more. A cook in a restaurant makes more. chefs and head cooks make less. So for this, it says cooks and chefs. So that's why I picked this one, chefs and head cooks. So okay, so that is how you do this particular lesson. So just to review, do all your readings, watch the videos, attend class, complete the programs of study scavenger hunt, turn that in, career cluster, and job study. If you have any questions about this week's lesson or any other lessons, you can call me at this the number at the top of the screen. There's my email address, or you can email me, send me a class mail to get a hold of me, and I can work with you one-on-one if you need that support. All right, for now, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a great week.